Talk movies! Movie friends!
This gonna be good.
Walt Disney Pictures, The Princess and the Frog.
Welcome, friends. It's Pete again, and I'm here with another Disney talk. We're doing another animated movie for this episode, and the movie that I'm going to be talking about is Princess and the Frog. So, this movie took me a long time to see. I didn't see it for the first time until I would say maybe 6 months ago is when I watched it for the very first time. And I don't know what took me so long to finally decide to watch it because I loved it. It was great. I believe this is the last Disney animated movie that was 2D, if I'm correct. If I'm wrong, let me know in the comments, but I think it's the last 2D animated movie because after this one it was like Tangled and Frozen and then Big Hero 6 and all those 3D animated ones. But I could be wrong, so let me know if I'm wrong. But this movie was great, and Princess Tiana, is up there as one of my favorite princesses, and I'll get into that more later, but she is fantastic. So basically, the movie, it's a kind of a reimagining of the old story, Princess and the Frog, and follows Tiana, and her family is kind of the lower class, and her family works for this rich family, and they're not mean, they're not mean to Tiana's family, like the family that they work for. They're nice people, and Tiana's actually good friends with their young daughter Charlotte. And yeah, and Tiana's dream is to just be a great chef and have her own restaurant, which is one of the reasons why she's my favorite, because she's not the typical princess who wants to be swooped away by, Prince Charming or whatever. She's like, no, I don't have time for that. I just want to be a chef. I want to cook. I want to have my own restaurant. I want to make people happy with my food. And that's what her dad's philosophy was as well, because he passed away. And it's kind of him that inspired her to want to open a restaurant and become a chef. And so she's working as a waitress at a restaurant to save money so she can buy this old rundown building and spruce it up and open up her own restaurant, which is awesome. So yeah, and her friend Charlotte is the complete opposite. She's kind of just ditzy and wants to marry a prince and be a princess and all that kind of stuff, but Tiana's not really about that, which is fantastic. Her dreams of being a chef slash restaurateur, it's great. I love that character attribute that she has. Yeah, and so Prince Naveen, he comes to town, and he's not like your typical prince. He's kind of lazy, kind of a slacker, and his parents said they're gonna cut him off, so he's got to marry royalty, really. So he comes to town to kind of see if he can marry a princess, and Charlotte hears about this, and she's like, oh, I want to marry him, and we're gonna be prince and princess and whatever. And Tiana's like, no, I don't really care. And while Naveen is there, he meets Facilier, who is the movie's antagonist. And basically Facilier, he's kind of like a witch doctor sort of thing, and he tells Naveen I'll give you untold riches, and I'll get your parents off your back and all that kind of stuff. And so Naveen is down for that, so he agrees. But Facilier turns him into a frog. And so now Naveen is stuck as a frog, and he finds Princess Tiana, and they they know about the story, The Princess and the Frog. So he thinks, oh, if I get this beautiful girl to kiss me, I'll turn back into my human form. So, and he agrees that if she kisses him, he'll give her the money or whatever to open her restaurant. So she does it, but she also turns into a frog. And basically the whole movie is them, Naveen and Princess Tiana, trying to get Facilier and turn back into their human form before the curse becomes permanent and they are frogs forever. And in the midst of their adventures, they meet a lot of colorful characters like Louis, the jazz-loving alligator, and I love all the characters in this movie. The voice acting was phenomenal. The animation was great. I still love the 2D animated movies. So I don't know what took me so long to finally watch this movie, but I'm glad I did because I love it and it's one of my favorites. But yeah, the music in it is fantastic. I like jazz music. I'm not so much into freeform jazz, but I do love jazz music. It had a lot of good original songs, like Almost There, great song. Basically, it's a song that Tiana sings, and she's just saying, I'm almost there. I don't want all these distractions. I'm almost about to fulfill my dream with the restaurant and being a chef, and I'm almost there, and all that kind of stuff. And it's a great song. The animation's fantastic. It's funny too. It's a really funny movie. A lot of parts had me laughing. Louis was hilarious. It's a really funny movie. And even though this movie came out, I think it was like 2011 or 2010 or something, it feels like you're watching like a classic Disney animated movie, which is great. Always has a plus in my books if it can still have that feel of a classic Disney animated movie. There's a lot of dark stuff that happens in it as well. Little bit of a spoiler alert, but there's a character, his name is escaping me right now, but he's a firefly, and basically Facilier just straight up kills him, which was nuts. When I was watching the movie, I was like, oh, he's not dead. He can't be dead, but yeah, he died, and they had like a little memorial for him, and it was actually really sad. He was one of Louis' friends. He was Firefly, who was like from the Bayou, and he loved jazz music as well. And it was really sad. I thought he was one of the funnier characters, and he was I loved him. So when he actually died, and I realized that he was actually dead for good, I was like, damn, that's pretty intense. But and then the movie basically ends how you would think it would end. They break the curse, and Princess Tiana and Naveen get married and all that, and Naveen becomes a better person because after meeting Tiana, I guess after meeting Tiana, meeting someone with true dreams and goals and ambition, and just a beautiful person with a beautiful mind kind of changed him, and he becomes a better person after the whole thing is finished. So yeah, kind of a cliched ending, I guess, but most of these Disney princess movies end in that way, just happy ending, them getting married or whatever. So that's whatever, but it did have a good story. I like how they kind of took Princess and the Frog and twisted it a bit and kind of reimagined it. I know a lot of Disney movies take old like tales and folklore like that and kind of change it around, but this one was like vastly different, which was great. This was the first, I don't know if the first, but one of the first like Disney princesses of color, which is fantastic. So I hope eventually that they do a live action adaptation of Princess and the Frog. I know a lot of people aren't a big fan of the live action adaptations, which I don't really understand. Like, I feel like people are just getting too hung up on the fact that they think these live action adaptations are meant to replace the animated ones, which is not what they're doing at all. The reason why, in my opinion, why they're making these live action adaptations is to kind of bring it to a new medium, kind of bring it to a new generation. Because I know a lot of kids like animated movies, but if you show them like an old animated movie, like, I don't know, Cinderella or Snow White, for example, I feel like some kids will lose interest. So it's kind of just a new medium, kind of bringing it to a new generation. But none of these Disney adaptations, in my mind, are better than the animated classics. But I like seeing how they take the animated classic and reimagine it in a live action setting. So I hope they do this one as a live action adaptation. I think it would be funny. I think it would be cool to see, the blend of animals with the jazz music, and then Princess Tiana and Naveen and all that kind of stuff. But overall, this was a great movie. If you're, I'm sure if you love Disney movies, you've already caught this one. I don't know what I was thinking, but I'm waiting so long to see it. But it's a fantastic movie. I highly recommend it. I'm definitely gonna watch it again in the future for sure. And I hope Disney starts doing more 2D animated movies again as well, because 3D animation is awesome, but it's cool to see them go back to their roots sometimes and watch a truly, hand drawn, like 2D animated film. And I hope they start doing that again, even though I do like their 3D animated movies a lot. But Princess and the Frog, fantastic. Even the Facilier, the antagonist, he was a great villain. I love the voice actor who plays him. The design of the characters in this movie were great. I love food, so that's another reason why this movie kind of related to me. Like, I just have a huge respect for like the culinary arts, and I love food. I love food from New Orleans, like seafood gumbo and beignets and all that kind of stuff, which is a lot of food is featured in this movie. So yeah, fantastic movie. Highly recommend it. Princess and the Frog. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Like and subscribe to our channel, please. We're also on Spotify, like I said. And appreciate you guys listening. And goodbye, my friends.
Comment, like, subscribe, hit the bell to be notified.